Lesson 7. Earth-Sun Relationship. What is your favorite season of the year? Do you like summer more than winter? Do you know why we have seasons? Do you know that you can go from one season to another just by changing your location? Our seasons are caused by the relationship between the Earth and the Sun. The Sun plays a very important part in our lives. Life on Earth is supported by energy from the Sun. Our language shows how important the sun is to our everyday lives. We have sunroofs, sunglasses, and sunsuits. We need the vitamin D that the sun provides to keep our bodies strong. What causes seasons? If all parts of the earth receive the same amount of sunshine year-round, there will be no seasons. However, this is not the case. The difference in the amount of sunshine received is the result of two things: the movement of the Earth around the Sun, and the tilt of the Earth on its axis. The Earth's axis is an imaginary line from the North Pole to the South Pole through the center of the Earth. Seasons in the Northern Hemisphere. The Earth rotates on its axis once in 24 hours. This is the length of our day. The Earth also revolves around the Sun. This trip takes a little over 365 days, 1 year. Notice that the Earth's axis is tilted. As the Earth travels around the Sun, its axis always points in the same direction. This means that sometimes the North Pole is pointing towards the Sun, and other times the North Pole is pointed away from the Sun. The North Pole points towards the Sun when we are having our summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And away during the winter in the Northern Hemisphere. Seasons in the Southern Hemisphere. When it is summer in the Northern Hemisphere, it is winter south of the equator, or in the Southern Hemisphere. For example, if you are baking in the heat and direct sun of an Arizona summer, you can fly to somewhere south of the equator and enjoy cold winter weather. Whether we are having summer or winter, it is due to how much heat our location on the Earth is getting from the sun. When the northern half of the Earth is pointing towards the sun, it gets more heat for two reasons. One reason is that there are more hours of daylight. The other reason is the sun rays fall more directly on the northern hemisphere. These direct rays are hotter than the sun's indirect rays in the winter. Here's a cool activity how you can do. You can use 2 pieces of paper or 2 paper plates to show why the direct rays of the sun are hotter. Cut a circle about 1.5 inches across in the first piece of paper. Hold this piece of paper up to the sun or a strong light. Hold the second piece of paper about 3 inches behind it so the light comes through the hole. This represents the light of the sun falling on the earth. Now tilt the second piece of paper so that first it points straight up and down, and then so that its top points away from the first piece, and then towards it. What happens to the spot of light falling on the paper? It changes shape. When the top of the second piece of paper is tilted towards or away from the first piece, the spot of the light gets bigger. The smaller the spot of light, the hotter it is. In the summer, the sun is almost directly overhead. Its rays fall on a smaller spot of the earth than in winter. That part of the earth gets more heat. In winter, the sun is lower in the sky. Its rays are slanted and falls on a larger spot of earth than in summer. That part of the earth gets less heat. What happens if the sun is always overhead? There will be no seasons. The weather will always be warm. This happens near the equator in places such as Latin America. Thank you for staying with me for Chapter 7. God bless y'all.